Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS FANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. There's a lot to unpack here when it comes to the Cleveland Browns, especially as we look at how this season is shaping up and what that could mean for the team's future. We all know that the Browns have been one of those teams with a lot of potential, a roster filled with talent, but also some inconsistencies that have kept them from reaching that next level. And right now, they're sitting at a pretty interesting crossroads. So let's dive into what's happening, what's been working, what's not, and what fans should keep an eye on as the season progresses. To start, this team has been close to being 2-1, which, considering the circumstances, is quite an achievement. You might say it's a bit of a mixed bag because the Browns have shown flashes of brilliance, especially on defense, but their offense has been underwhelming. And that's putting it mildly. When you look at the overall picture, the defense has been nothing short of spectacular, really stepping up and keeping the team in games. They've been aggressive, disciplined, and they've made life difficult for their opponents. But on the other hand, the offense has been, let's say, a work in progress. It's been a bit of a roller coaster, with moments of promise but also a lot of room for improvement. Now, despite the lackluster offensive output, the Browns have been in a position to win all 3 games they've played so far. That's a testament to how resilient and well-coached this team is, especially on defense. But of course, in the NFL, you can't just rely on defense alone. You need a balanced attack, especially when it comes to scoring points and making big plays when it matters most. And that's exactly where the concern lies. Because even though the defense has been performing at a high level, the offense has struggled to find that rhythm, that consistency, that spark that can turn close games into wins. One of the biggest talking points has been the quarterback situation. The Browns, as you all know, have been rolling with Joe Flacco at quarterback. Flacco, a veteran with a storied career, has brought experience and leadership to the team, but he's also been asked to adapt to a more conservative style of play. That's something that head coach Kevin Stefanski has emphasized, especially to prevent turnovers and protect the ball. And while that's understandable, it also limits Flacco's ability to unleash his big arm and take those deep shots that can change the course of a game. But here's where it gets even more interesting. The pass catchers, especially JEUDY, have been under a lot of scrutiny. JEUDY, who was acquired in the offseason, was expected to be a key piece in this offense. He's a former first-round pick, a guy with explosive potential, a player who broke out last season when the Browns finally had a quarterback who could give him some decent chances down the field. Last year, JEUDY finally showed some of the talent that made him a top draft pick, and Browns fans were hopeful that he would be the spark their offense desperately needs. However, in the first 3 games of this season, it just hasn't clicked the way many expected. With Flacco at quarterback, JEUDY hasn't had many opportunities to showcase his big play ability. Flacco has been more cautious, less willing to take those deep shots, and that's limiting JEUDY's chances to shine. You can see the frustration, but also the optimism in JEUDY's words. He's been saying that the team is doing everything they can, that consistency is key, and that eventually those big plays will come. It's a positive outlook, but it also highlights the challenge they're facing right now. The Browns are counting on JEUDY to lead the passing game, to be that reliable target, to create separation and make those game-changing catches. But right now, the chemistry just isn't quite there. And that raises an important point about the overall offensive philosophy. Kevin Stefanski has always been a coach who values ball security and a balanced attack, but in this case, it might be hindering the team's potential. Flacco's natural tendency to be more conservative is understandable, especially given the team's emphasis on avoiding turnovers. But at the same time, it's preventing him from fully unleashing his talent and giving JEUDY the opportunities he needs to make those big plays. It's a delicate balance. The Browns need to find a middle ground, a way to protect the ball, but also take enough shots downfield to keep defenses honest and to set up big gains. This entire scenario also sheds light on the bigger picture of the Browns' season. They have a talented roster, a solid defense, and a quarterback who, despite his limitations, knows how to manage a game. But they need more firepower, more consistency from their receivers, and a bit more daring from their offensive play calling. The team's success will depend heavily on whether they can get the passing game going, and whether JEUDY and the other pass catchers can step up and provide that reliable threat that defenses have to respect. Looking ahead, the Browns have some important matches coming up. They'll need to tighten up their offensive execution and find ways to generate more big plays. That will require a combination of better route running, smarter play calling, and perhaps even some adjustments from the coaching staff to give FLACCO more opportunities to throw deep. It's a fine line to walk, but if they manage to strike that balance, this team could turn things around quickly. Remember, this is a team that's been close to winning all 3 games so far, and with just a little more consistency and some creative scheming, they could be 3-0 or even 4-0 by now. But it's not just about the offense. The Browns' defense has been a bright spot all season. Players like Myles Garrett and the rest of the front 7 have been relentless, creating pressure, forcing turnovers, and shutting down opponents' run games. That defense is what keeps this team in contention, even when the offense stumbles. Still, for the Browns to truly contend for a playoff spot or even a deep playoff run, they need their offense to be more dynamic, more unpredictable, and more capable of putting points on the board consistently. Now, let's talk about some of the broader implications. The AFC North is one of the most competitive divisions in the NFL, with teams like Baltimore and Cincinnati always lurking and ready to pounce. The Browns know that if they want to climb to the top, they'll need to improve their offensive production, and that's not just about individual players, but about cohesion, scheme, and confidence. The coaching staff has to find that sweet spot where they can be aggressive enough to challenge defenses, but also conservative enough to protect the ball. It's a tough balancing act, but one that they're capable of mastering if they continue to learn and adapt. And of course, the season is still young. There's plenty of football left to be played, and the Browns have the talent and the resilience to turn things around. For fans, it's about patience, believing in the process, and trusting that the team will find its rhythm. JEUDY's words about staying consistent are encouraging, and they reflect the mindset that this team needs right now. It's about pushing through adversity, making adjustments, and staying united. In terms of individual performances, JEUDY's role will be crucial. If he can emerge as a reliable target and start making those big plays, it will open up the entire offense. That, combined with better execution from FLACCO and the offensive line, could spark a turnaround. The coaching staff needs to keep working on schemes that maximize their strengths and hide their weaknesses, and the players need to execute with precision and confidence. As we wrap up, remember, the Browns are not just a team with potential. They are a team with the capability to contend if they can just bring everything together. Defense is already doing their part, and now, it's about elevating the offense to match that intensity. With JEUDY leading the charge, and if FLACCO can find that balance between caution and aggression, this team could surprise a lot of people. It's a long season, but the signs are there that the Browns are still in the race, still fighting, and still hungry for success. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this situation? Do you believe JEUDY can be the spark this offense needs? Do you think FLACCO will find his rhythm and start taking those deep shots again? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cleveland Browns. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news. Keep the faith, stay passionate, and let's keep rooting for this team that, despite the bumps in the road, still has plenty of fight left in them. Thanks for watching and see you next time.